Hello. Hello, hello. Oh. I hope my next version doesn't run like shit like this. This is a travesty and a tragedy. Well, so unfortunately, most of them already are palette swaps. The pack that I'm using came with, like, I want to say like 10 different monsters. And then 2 additional color schemes of them. So I use one color scheme for like the low level ones, the second color scheme for the middle level ones, and the third color scheme for the highest level ones. So I'm kind of already doing that. Well, it matters to me a lot that it's like, to be honest, Dav, I would say that's very hard to notice. They're not that distinctly different. But yeah, it matters to me a lot that it runs smoothly. Because, I mean, one of the objectives that I have for it is I want it to be a high action, you know, entertaining thing to watch. And unfortunately, this version, 0.1.9, when things get intense, the frames go away. Yeah, a huge night of observing. Congratulations, you guys win again. Wow, I said that like an NES game end screen. Unintentionally. I have made additional updates to the next version, although I think I'm going to keep them under my hat until I release the version at this point. But I've been experimenting with. I got seeking behavior involved, and I'm glad I did all that because I feel like I have a pretty good grasp now on how entity movement is achieved. To be honest, particularly in the way that my game is set up, where there's no gravity or anything like that. It's a lot like space locomotion, I guess. Locomotion's not the right. It's like aerodynamics. That's not right either because there's no air. You know what I'm driving at. It's kind of like everything has little thrusters on it is what's happening. You've got like a main thruster, and then you have like little air jets, and you just, you know, you're just nudging it where you want it to go is essentially what's happening. it's a bit hard to wrap your head around it when you haven't done a lot of like vector math stuff. But I think it's clicked together for me now a bit. I mean, we'll see, because I haven't done too much more yet, and I do want to do more. But that's a lot of what it is. Like when I was showing you guys the sort of in-progress stuff that I had with them kind of moving around like a slow-moving wave, that was functional flocking. And I had the debug drawing of the vectors, right? There were those lines that were like, they would shoot out, they would grow in size, they would point in all these different directions. And when you watch them go, and you think about the way the math is working and what's happening, it's really cool. Like, particularly the seeking one looks very cool, because that one is much smoother adjustments and more variable. So, like, hold on a sec. With separation was like the really long sticks that would like extend all the way across the screen practically, and they would flit in and out of existence, so it was really hard to tell what was actually happening there. And the reason for that looked that way, if you imagine like the little course adjusting thrusters I was talking about, what was happening was the way I had configured separation, because basically I just kind of fiddled with the knobs until I kind of achieved magic, essentially. I didn't know at the outset like what were going to be the right numbers for this until I landed on something that looked good. Snowflux, thank you for 32 months. Also AG Cypher, thank you for 57 months. And Anonymous, thank you for that gift sub. And the way it worked out was that the separation value is pretty high. The strength was very high compared to everything else. And essentially what's happening is I wanted the separation to be more, not instantaneous, but just really enforced, right? So to make that adjustment, it has to put that fucking thruster on full blast away from the thing that it's trying to avoid touching. And that's how it's maintaining it. So, and it's performing these checks every frame, right? So you can imagine that it's just like thrust, 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 because it's emergent, you know, it's like, it's not maintaining a distance intentionally. It's maintaining it responsively. So it's making minute adjustments, and it's basically just saying like, okay, in order to stay away from this other monster next to me, I have to fucking blast this thing for a few seconds. And then we turn it off because we don't want to be far, far away. We just want to be a little bit away. But yeah, so that one was like kind of less obvious when you're looking at it. But when you see the vector for the seeking one's really cool because it actually looks like a thruster. You know, it's showing like, okay, just you know, it's like just constantly firing, and it's constantly adjusting in both direction and length. And then you can see when I have the direction vector. So really the velocity, when I have the velocity vector also displaying, you can see the seeking one is kind of ahead of it. And it's like, you know, constantly blasting, trying to like redirect, making these course adjustments to get you to the thing you're trying to seek. Yeah. I mean, if you want to adjust something like that, at a different like frame rate, you have to track the delta time, and then you have to have a delay that you want it to fire after, right? So the delta time is going to be in milliseconds, and you say you want it to happen. So a frame is like 6 point something milliseconds at 60 frames per second. So you store the delta time. The delta time is telling you the time since last frame, okay? Or actually the time of the last frame. And you store that, and you store that, and you store that until it surpasses whatever delay you wanted to use, right? So you could set your delay to 250, and then every 250 milliseconds something will happen. So that's 4 times a second. Oh, is it 6? So, I mean, there's a lot of 6s, and I set a 6. Chances are I went to the right part of the brain and I didn't stay there long enough. You're probably right. Actually, maybe I'm thinking of on my machine where my VSync is 144. Does that work out to 6 something? I don't know. Anyway, it's a very, very tiny amount of time you have to, if you're doing something like every frame, it all has to fit within however long it takes to do a frame to hit that target, right? If you go beyond that, if you have processing that takes you beyond that, then you're going to have frame drops, delayed frames. But yeah, you could do it less often. And for some processes that I have that I know they don't need to be updated that often, I preemptively have done that. I have a lot of things have their own clocks in the game, and they don't update as frequently because there's no need for it to be processing them that often and that heavily. Like multiple times per second is enough for a lot of things. Some stuff, not even for multiple seconds, but that's rarer. Most things that I'm doing, I want to either just happen instantly or happen pretty damn frequently. And I think that for smooth movement, it would probably be better to just do it every frame. Yeah, you could do like a level of detail thing, yeah, if they're not on screen. Actually, you see that in a lot of games where like, you know, like when you see like a faraway character and instead of moving smoothly, they're going like tick, 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 tick. That's exactly that kind of thing. That's a level of detail where it's like, okay, this thing is so far away that it's unimportant and we don't need to update it as often as something that's like pretty close to the player, whatever. So you see like, and also like AI will get turned down and not update as frequently, that sort of thing. I don't really need those kinds of optimizations, I don't think yet. I mean, like basically that kind of stuff strikes me as the sort of stuff that can wait until a lot later. Like if I'm trying to squeeze every last drop of performance out, then maybe it'll be good to like hunt around for those sorts of little tweaks and improvements, but I don't think that that's something that's necessary right now. And anyway, the performance stuff that you guys are seeing in 0.1.9 here have essentially already been addressed, in that the majority of that is caused, and I profiled this so I know for a fact, it was caused by doing just lots of iterating over the entire list of monsters, just very, very frequently. Like, it was happening for most weapons every time they attacked. So that explains, like, particularly one of the times when we get really bad, right? When was it? When the vinyls are going through and when the arrows land. And that's because, particularly in the case of the vinyls are a hitbox that is traveling very fast across many, 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 many monsters. And it has to update, while it's in its attack phase, it has to keep updating because the hitbox is passing through a bunch of things that are always changing. And that was pulling the full list of monsters every frame as it's passing through the group to generate a list of hits. Extremely fucking costly. And that was what's causing the frame drops that you guys are seeing. Yeah, multiple times per frame when you have more than one vinyl as well. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's also why it was happening with arrows, because with the arrows, with that weapon, you start with like, I don't know, it's like 6 arrows or something like that, or 10. But at the max level for the arrows, there's 120 arrows. So as soon as those touch the ground, they fire off their attack where they check their hitbox. So it's 120 every time the arrows touch the ground. 120 full searches of the monster entity list. No, I'm not using a library. Well, I mean, I'm using an engine. I've built this on Phaser. Phaser provides the physics that I use. Although I've been replacing built-ins with other things now. But anyway, I can definitely say, although I need to test it on the Stream PC and OBS, I have not done that yet, so I don't know for sure, but I feel pretty damn confident that changing all of that over to an R tree or a quad tree has resolved that problem. No, I like the vast quantity of arrows, you know. The reason I did that is because it's impressive to see. I want you to feel like, you know, that's one of those things where you get to higher level, you should feel like you're a higher level. And when you max out arrows, I want you to feel like you've fucking maxed it out. So I actually have the arrow count go up exponentially. They go up by a power of 2 with every level. And like I said, with the quad tree, now it's completely performant. It's totally fine. They just pull only a list of monsters where they are, which is so much faster. It's magnitudes. It's like hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times faster than what I was doing. So, and what I was doing was very much like, I'm prototyping and I'm an idiot. Meaning, like, I just don't know what I'm doing when it comes to, like, specifically game programming and like performance programming. So. Night, M. I was just, you know, I was being hyperbolic saying idiot because it sounds funnier. But yeah, suffice to say, I'm definitely ignorant of certain things that I just don't, like, there's a lot of stuff I hadn't had to use in my day-to-day work that I just don't have knowledge of because of that. But anyway, I'm super excited about the stuff that I have going forward. Unfortunately, I think I might rewrite Co's AI again. Because while the sort of utility graph thing that I did is kind of cool, and I was able to make it performant using the quad trees, I think he might be better behaved if I use a system or develop a system more similar to the way the monsters are working now. But I'm going to continue developing them out more first to see what else I can manage to do. The next thing on the agenda for them, so I added independent ranges for each of the parameters for the flocking, so their perception range can vary. And then in terms of the quad tree, it'll pull from the largest perception range, but basically I could have, you know, they could look wider for separation and look closer for like alignment and maybe somewhere in the middle for cohesion. So I can really tweak very closely like how they behave, which I think is really cool. I don't have it on a different type of monster basis yet because it's like it's early days. I've just barely got this part going. And then, like, it's easy for me to debug it right now, but if I tried to split off those parameters to, like, each different type of monster, it would become a lot more difficult, so I'm going to hold off on that. But I'm gonna do collision next. Collision avoidance. So not like collision detection, which I don't super particularly... I have that in other ways. I don't super need it. Also, quad trees make that, like, trivial anyway. But actually just collision avoidance. So I want them to anticipate when they're heading, like, say, towards a tree and avoid it. Or when they're headed towards the wall, turn away from it. That sort of thing. So I'm going to add that to them. And if that works out pretty well, then I think that might be good for Co's behaviors. Because that's the big problem with him right now is that because of how convoluted the system is that I developed for him, and I didn't really understand the way movement works in games very well, and I was using the built-ins, so it was like if I tried to do anything fancy, it kind of would fight against the built-ins, you know? That's kind of the problem with built-ins, or the point of built-ins, is so you don't have to know what's happening. You don't have to know the math or anything. Trouble is, that shit tends to be like very specific and not very parameterized, right? It's going to do something where you know like conceptually what it's doing, but then if you want to do anything advanced, you're probably going to have to replace it with something super specific where you're just kind of doing it yourself. And that's the case, is like he just makes totally random choices, and then I use a built-in to send him in the direction of his choice. That's a super inflexible way of movement, and thus, like, even with that grid, with the scoring system, blah, 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 it's extremely difficult to then influence his movement in other ways where I think, the more I think about it, the more I think it could just be done super simply. It doesn't need to be this brainiac thing that's like evaluating all kinds of stuff. It just needs to be able to not get stuck, and then be able to like seek objectives, like attack monsters, evade monsters, maybe, you know, maybe drive towards pickup sometimes, whatever. But I think that is like more achievable, or it would get me to a pleasing result probably more easily than this other thing I've done. I'm not gonna like throw it away. I'm gonna keep the code, but I think I'm gonna just make it like a toggleable, like I'm gonna switch between them, and I'm just gonna, whatever one that I like, I'll probably just keep it toggled to that, but I am going to probably try an alternative. Yeah, KISS is an old concept. I'm kind of glad that it's not super widely mentioned anymore, because like it's really weird when a graybeard engineer is trying to explain KISS to you, and they keep saying KISS to you. Like, yeah, I get it, man. Can you just stop saying that to me? This was once again a joke. I also never had issues with it. Anyway, I'm obviously back to being very excited about it again, and I have been rambling. My apologies. While code just dances in place. Let's see if I can start observation duty without crashing my entire computer. Yeah, Slated Princess came out around the 20th. I think it was delayed a couple days. Might have come out on like the 23rd or something like that. I'm planning to play it soon. I've just been holding off because I'm just holding off. It is 11 out of 10. Thank you. I'm glad you agree, Punkster. I love this. I love this fucking intro screen. Yeah, the Faith thing is out, and despite my love of Faith, I don't know that I'm going to prioritize diving into it, because it looks like for the most part it's all like really auxiliary stuff. Yeah, there's a Faith Survivors thing, and it's all cool. I'm not trying to knock it. It's just what I would have wanted, or what would have drawn me back in, would have been like even a small new little story thing would have, I would have absolutely dove headfirst into that shit. But I think it is. I think it's a pretty big cult hit, honestly. I think it's pretty widely known. I don't think so, Dev. I watched the trailer for it, and all it talked about was like these little sort of bonuses. Like, you can play through the game again, and I guess there's a few new, like, there's a little bit of new content, but it's like one of those situations where I'd have to play through everything all over again. And I never really find that enticing. It's not that I'm not a replay guy, but like for me, I have to have pretty big wide gaps between full replays like that. Yeah, you had to have a certain achievement of like, I'm a good Christian boy, I believe is the achievement. Nah, man, like if it would have even included just a short, like I was hoping that maybe there would be a little maybe extension thing about the other priest and him, something like that. Even if it was just like a half an hour or an hour, I would have gone for that 100%. I'm not saying I don't like that stuff, to be clear. I don't know. It's not enticing enough for me. All right, all we have now to do is the bank. Let's do it. The central bank has been exposed to anomalies. We are testing a new reporting system. No need to report the anomaly type anymore. But too many false reports will cause a system crash. I'm down, punks. I'm down. I think it would be great. All right. So that means a lot of locations. A lot of locations. Street paintings. 2 light fixtures. I don't know. Phone, keys, journal, mouse, keyboard, cup, lion, monitor. I gotta turn my overhead off again. It makes it so hard for me to see the dark areas in this. Oh, God, you gotta be shitting me. Every single one of these has just got worse and worse. Also, look at these fucking photos. How are we supposed to know if these changed? This looks haunted already. I feel like I should report it. Oh, my cam is not on. Thank you. Reporting it? Yeah, whatever, fine. I think it probably just started this way. Where are we? Break area? I care. Don't you have any honor? Oh, okay. Well, now we know. This is a fact-finding mission. Look at that one. What the fuck? Come on. Ridiculous. Look at this. Oh my fucking God. Basically, banks are fucked up. Banks are just fucked up. Good Lord. Anywho, I hope that at this point, like I'm really enjoying building my stupid game, and I hope that I can take it beyond being just like a ripoff of Vampire Survivors. I want to keep playing with the concepts and molding it and changing it. And it's fun doing it in this live way where you guys are participants and helping to shape where it's going, you know? Well, yeah, I mean, that's true, but like as a standalone game, it doesn't really have any qualities that aren't already met by the progenitor. Yeah, first round itis here, buddy. I have no idea. I'm not gonna have any idea on any of this. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah? You don't say. You don't say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a coffee machine and it's making a really authentic coffee machine sound. What the fuck? That's that's wild. That was so weird. That like opened up a core memory for me. My dad he ran a vending company when I was a kid, so I actually was around various different kinds of vending machines and coffee machines quite a lot. And occasionally arcade machines, which was very cool. But yeah, particularly in the 80s anyway, that's a very familiar sound for me. The sound of a coffee vending machine working its ass off to give you like 2/3 of a cup. And you know those cups that had like the poker game on them? Those were everywhere. It's like the only thing to do in factory break rooms. Get a coffee and then play the poker cup game. Oh, well, that happened right before our eyes. Basement. It does have a catchu. Yeah, we're just getting pummeled here, y'all. Yo, DK, 4 years, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I was looking at those switches or outlets or whatever. You might be right. I don't know. You mean right here? I mean, at this point, every room probably has some sort of anomaly going on. The question is when we report it, wah! Okay, so this room is entirely fine right now. Memorize this room as you see it. Unless something moves, don't memorize that. That's an anomaly. But everything else is exactly as it should be right now. Lion, memorized. Whatever the fuck else is happening, I have no damn idea. Not the faintest clue. These chairs might have moved. Oh, that picture definitely changed. That picture definitely changed. Counter. I was thinking the chairs maybe moved, or the contents of the tops of the desks possibly. I still also don't know if this mode fixes multiple anomalies at once, since you're not saying which. I feel like no, probably. But I'm not sure. Was this always disconnected like this? I feel like it was not. I'm just going to try it. Who cares? Yeah, I think there was. Oh! Oh! Oh no!
More of this.
It's true. Sith, thank you for the biddies. Okay. So on this side, there's 2 rows of ropes. This side, there's 1. 2 rows of benches, 6 benches, 2 trash cans. Mopping stuff, 4 ATMs, 2 monitors. Yup. Yup. You know what? I feel like this was gone on the last one at some point. I could be wrong. This is all looking as I remember it. Three things here, 2 things there. Water. Phone and paper, phone and paper. Phone and paper, phone and paper. Phone and paper, phone and paper, phone and paper, phone and paper. Baby lady? Not sure. Plant. Okay, so these chairs were positioned like this. Laptop, phone, and everything else. Desk plain, desk supreme. Spooky. So thank you for the goddamn bits. Does this have outside? No. So we don't have to worry about that. Bunch of papers, open box in the middle, 1 phone, 1 water bottle, 1 monitor. Box and plant. And other plant. 7 chairs. Radiator. 6 filing cabinets. This is open. 4 ingots, although by this time things could have changed by now, and we just never know. This is all looking pretty much how I remember it. I was wondering that myself. Like, do banks actually keep ingots? Is that a thing they do? It's all looking pretty normal. Painting in the hallway changed? This? I feel like it was always this face, but you guys know best. You were right. You were right. It was that. Good call. This was not here. That's new. Had gone. Are these chairs all like more aligned than they were? Oh yeah, there's an extra chair. Brilliant. Brilliant. Glad I counted those chairs. That's why it felt like it was more aligned to me, because there was another one like bolstering the line. Yeah? You don't say. Hey, Mr. Man. Did it? Are you sure? If there's a cart missing here, I don't know. Oh. I'm sure something has changed here. Well, whatever it is, I'm missing it. Extra monitors? Mug new? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the mug's been there the whole time. But I didn't notice the rug until now. Was the rug always there? Rug new? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Were these chairs always here? Yeah, there's the two monitors. I better not be coming down with all my stupid allergy attack things. But I am feeling a little bit off. This one is hard as fuck. The bottles. You talking about the bottle there, or is there a bottle somewhere else that you're seeing? I feel like this has always been this. The keys, I feel, have always been there. Yeah, this is normal. This is normal. Fuck's sakes, dude. This one is ridiculous. Shit. Eyes? The picture had eyes? They were paintings of people. Oh, this is so hard, dude. Oh, there were fucking stairs though on this side. You're right. Man, I looked at those and I was like, nah. Wait, was there? Did this start with like, there's ropes here. I don't think there were always ropes in front of this monitor. Did it just drop that on us immediately? Or did I not notice those before? Oh no. Oh no. Bellament. Thank you for 117 months. 9.75 years. Incredible. Appreciate it. This is so fucking hard. This, I think this is the hardest one. The house was pretty fucking hard. Like for me, I think it's like supermarket, house, and then this might be the hardest. Which makes sense because it's also the lastest. You would think this room would be pretty easy, but I don't recall ever seeing anything change in this damn room. There's 3 boxes on the floor. There's 2 step ladders. There's 1 cart with 4 ingots, and then the middle bit has 2 blocks of wrapped cash, 3 loose cash, something that I don't know what it is. Looks like a mousetrap almost. And then another 4 ingots. I don't know that the painting vanished one time. I don't know if I believe you. Hey, there's them eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes on that guy's. It's the director's office. Love that. I love that for him. It's a great look. Man, things are just looking normal as fuck around here. And that's bad. Is that cart always there? I don't feel like I ever took notice of it. Yeah, that monitor was always on. Stepladder was always there. Well, I feel like both directions work, right? Like mundane shit I think is easy to overlook and that makes it harder. Insane shit also makes it fucking makes you question your sanity. Like the paintings in this place. Excuse me. This is attacking me very quickly. This is just coming on real fast. Hey, finally something happened in here, and it was with the painting as well. Thank goodness. This shit just all looks exactly the same to me. I have to say, I really appreciate how good of a sense this developer has developed of making the right choices of things to where to where this remains like fun. Because you have to kind of hit a sweet spot in the middle.
They gave me 2 cheese on my burgers.
Nice.
So now I can share with the dogs.
Hold on. Hey, come here, Mr. Man. Hold on.
High five. Say hello.
High five? Nope.
Sorry.
High five? High five?
No, you're doing it straight out. He's over there.
High five? High five?
High five. Bun bun.
Good job, buddy. Whoa! Okay, all right.
She's still eating her tiny piece that I gave her.
Go get her. Bring her.
Bun bun.
Miss Bun. Come here. Come on. Come here.
You gotta get up.
Miss Bun. Come here. Come here. Miss Bun Bun Bun. Come here. I got you. Uh-oh. No, don't. It's not time for tummy rubs. Oh, I got you. I got you, you little maniac.
Sit. Sit.
She's not good at sit.
No, she's not. Shake.
She's good at shake.
Vibrate. She's killing it.
She's such a little gremlin.
Gentle. Gentle.
Is that good? Is that good? I don't have any. I don't have any.
Gentle. Good girl. You want this last piece? Is this last piece yours? You want to give him kisses? You want kisses?
Here you go. He's fine.
Wow. She's not even trying to get in your mouth.
She has an objective. She makes such gremlin noises.
Did you get all the crumbs? That's all I got. No more.
No mores. No mores.
I just gave Penny a whole one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just like, here.
I thought you guys would enjoy the dog burger interlude there. Little intermission. Correct. I probably should have turned the light on for that, but it's fine. Painting has changed.
See if you wanted a hot beverage.
Actually, I was going to ask you for a nog beverage.
That could be arranged.
Thank you. What about my a hot drink? Wait, what? I swear the game just made like chipmunk noises. Anybody else hear that? Dude, I am such a nog hog. You guys ever do hot nog? Okay, good, because it's not a thing. I'm pretty sure there were always 3. The other possible answer I was going to give is that that's scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs is hot nog. DJQJ, thank you for 79 months. Hot buttered rum. I mean, that sounds fine. I feel like it was always 3, but no one else has really weighed in here. Wait, Alan Wake 1 or 2? Oh, okay. All right. Did that monitor change, maybe? Not sure. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Elon Wake. Excellent. I like it. Break room, break area. Bam.
You would figure that since my fiasco the other day, I would learn to rein it in when there's a live camera around. But the second I turned around, I started singing.
That's fine. Thank you.
This is the reason we can't have neighbors.
I forgot to tell you that.
What?
So I forgot to tell you this, but to be honest, I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell anybody this. But the other day, I think I was in here. Yeah, I was in here. And I ripped ass. And I heard a voice outside congratulate me.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh my god.
That happened.
Oh. That is impressive. Did you feel better?
I was shocked.
Did you say thank you?
I was shocked.
Oh, that's great.
Well, you see, Dork, I wasn't pissing at the time.
Whew. That made me cry. It still hurts a little bit.
Yeah, they said something like, "Hey, I heard that. Nice one."
Oh my god. Do you think it was somebody from downstairs? Was it during the daytime?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was somebody walking by. I think it's because I still have an air conditioner in the window, so if I rip ass, it's just going right out the window.
Oh my god.
Audibly, I mean.
Oh my god.
I'm not hanging my ass out the window.
I love how they started with, I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, everything's rearranged here.
That is so fucking great. Who knows? There could be some of that on the recording. I don't know. I still have it. I haven't deleted it yet. I should for my own peace of mind, but I haven't yet.
That's who heard me fart.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, I heard that.
It's so dark that
Nice
like
one.
I was like, what is he doing?
That's why I have my light off. It's so fucking hard to see anything in this. Yeah, he's just part of the bank. Man, I tell you what, I was told that this game featured the glorious return of our boy, our biggest boy. And so far, our hopes have been dashed, kicked, stomped on. Absolutely shitted on. Okay, that's not the same. That's not the same. That's not the same game. Floor change. Whole ass wall change. Actually, if you change the wall, that also changes the floor. Keys were always there. Keys were always there. Don't you know the director? He keeps his keys on his desk. Every employee is supposed to know this. Are we learning anything? Are we winning, son? Oh, I love Nog. I have this really persistent itch on my back. Why? Oh, yep. That cat is looking. That cat is looking. Stealing a look. As cats are often wont to do. The Nog machine. It's going. It's noggin. Yes, there are benches upstairs. Extra chair. Krog, Nog, Krog, Nog, Krog, Nog, Krog, Nog. Krog, Nog? Pretty sure these are normal. Pretty sure. Black thing on desk turn? Black thing on desk turn? In basement? Sorry, it's a long road to the basement, apparently. The mug? I don't know. Mouse? I hope the blinds never change. Mouse in office. Mouse? Oh! I was looking for a literal fucking mouse, dude. You're such a cat. Don't worry, everybody. I just complimented Dav. Despite the anger in my voice. Stairs. 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 It's 4 o'clock. Do you know where your huge man is at? Where is the world's biggest boy? I was really hoping it would be on the next screen right when I changed it after I said that. I'm trying to create moments here. No. Didn't we already get googly eyes? Oh, did Twitch delete the concept of moments? I can't use that word to describe a literal moment. Are you guys so Twitch poisoned that you don't have moments in your life anymore because Twitch doesn't have them? There's never been another moment. Time stopped. Bench gone. Yeah. I wonder how stories are. Is that just short content? Is that trying to compete with like YouTube Shorts and TikTok? Everything is short and geez. Everything is short and vertical now. Ironically. That's been a weird sort of steady progression, right? When smartphones initially came out, I remember people constantly bitching and complaining whenever anybody took a vertical video. And guess what? Hey, you're not very big. Disappointed. Thing is that they're super fucking successful. Short content like that does insanely well in terms of views and engagement compared to classic content. So the thing is yeah, it's easily consumed. I mean, like, yes, they're exploiting and manipulating attention spans. I agree with that point of view, but at the same time, it seems almost like an evolutionary process. It seems like, despite us knowing things like this, being able to study and analyze and arrive at these conclusions, we still will just walk into the fire. Like, there's just nothing stopping it. Now the bottle's normal. Wow, he just killed us! Is that because I came to the screen, left, and came back? He just instantly killed me. Must have triggered a death. That's upsetting. Memorize, 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 realize, see, realize. Okay, you guys got all that, right? Good job, good job, good job. The bottle in front of the monitor was an anomaly? What bottle and what monitor? Oh, like when it's over here, right? Yeah, we caught that before. Yeah. Yeah, that shit does suck, No Nut. I'm glad I don't ever go outside. It sounds awful out there. I'm just a weirdo hermit communist. Funny thing is I actually don't really mind the vertical content that much. I think I've just been sort of slowly acclimated to it to where now I just don't care. But I think that was just because it was more of a shock to your expectations, I guess, when that shit was newer. Or like, I mean, mainly it was obnoxious when it was like posted to YouTube, right? Because you've got this like tiny little sliver of something in the middle of a 16:9 video window. But on phones and shit, I mean, it's fine. It does fill the screen, and I don't know. Oh yeah, that's the most obnoxious thing about TikTok for me, and why I don't use it. I can't. There's just nothing for me there. And also the sort of like incestuous nature of the content on TikTok, where everyone is doing the same thing because everyone is like desperate for views. So these trends just like spread like wildfire, and it's just wildfire followed immediately by wildfire, and again and again and again, just ad nauseum. It's just so weird. It's so weird to see the same thing like back to back to back, like a song paired with a dog doing a specific thing, and then you'll see another one by somebody else. It's exactly the same audio clip, different dog, but doing the same thing, and it's just like, just a million of them. It's like, I'm getting nothing out of this. I don't know. It's just not for me. People like it, and that's fine. I like YouTube Shorts a lot more because YouTube Shorts tends to be more like crafted content. Although a lot of it I would say is pretty lazy stuff, where it's just like, I mean, I don't mean that to sound as derogatory as it does, but like, if it's stuff from channels that I normally watch, unfortunately the Shorts content is typically going to be almost like clip reels of stuff I've already seen. So that's kind of a downer. But there are a few creators that actually make specific content for it, and I'm down with that. That stuff's usually fine, and some people do really good stuff. Particularly, I like when comedians do like a little, just a single bit contained in a short is kind of nice. But again, that does tend to be stuff I've already seen, because it'll be like a clip from a set, and I've already watched the set, so again, I'm kind of not getting much there. Yeah, like for me, my only TikTok consumption is stuff that makes it out of TikTok. Going to the app and actually looking for stuff is a nightmare. Oh yeah, Hank Green is another good one. Like, I really like his short content. This was a monitor, not a laptop. Or is it the other way around? No, it's supposed to be a monitor. Yeah. Well, a lot of it's preference, though, too, right? I've noticed that there's been this sort of slow trend towards longer and longer and longer content, which I'm kind of good with. I like something that I can put on while I'm working, for instance, and it's just like, I'm sort of half paying attention to it. It's similar to like podcasts in that way. So the only trouble with it is that often it'll be something where I actually do want to put eyeballs on it, but like whenever H-Bomb drops some sort of like 2-hour or 4-hour long essay, it's like, yes, I'm good for the week. Down the Rabbit Hole just put this whole fucking over 5-hour long documentary about EVE Online. It came out yesterday. And I'm gonna be nursing that for days and days and days. Does Jenny put anything out anymore? I need to drop by her channel because I feel like I haven't seen anything from her. Is it closer to 6 hours? I feel like I haven't seen anything from her for forever. But I really enjoy that stuff. I've also noticed that there's this weird fucking trend. I posted this on Blue Sky. Nobody gave a shit. Presumably nobody knew what I was talking about. But have any of the rest of y'all noticed this thing where all of a sudden everybody's fucking holding their microphones? Just everybody holds their microphone now. It's like an infection that very rapidly spread across all the video essayists. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. But they're all holding their microphones now. Did Joel do this? Was it little Joel or big Joel that did it? Because I was like, he always held his microphone because he's like a weird little guy in the corner. So it kind of looked right for him to hold his microphone. But, sorry, I like Joel. But like everybody started doing it all of a sudden. I don't know why. Somebody made a video about that? Is it really better? Is it? Oh my god. I basically stopped playing the game to talk about people holding their microphones. Should I do it while I'm streaming? Would that make my content better? What am I saying? I'm so fucking divorced from being like a content creator in any sense. I think I have been basically since I quit YouTube. I'm just a guy who shows up every day. That's all that I've got. That's all that I am. I show up every day. I'm pretty good at that. And that's it. I just don't think of it that way. And I've always had trouble doing that. I've never been able to take anything that I do and turn it into something that's... I don't even know. I don't know. That's the thing. I just get stuck right there. I get stuck at the beginning. I show up. That's it. Well, I appreciate you guys. I've said this plenty of times before, but for me, this is like... This is my social life, is showing up here every day and hanging out with y'all. And that's it. All the rest of the time I'm working on something. So this is my only like social outlet at all. I don't know if that's sad or bad or fine. Maybe it's fine. Well, it doesn't have to be bad per se to make content. It's like, I think what Justin does is really good, right? I think of Justin as a content creator, and he doesn't have that vibe of being a what do you associate with that? Like that sort of like obnoxiousness, or maybe more so like that impersonal, the sort of impersonalness of it, or whatever. But like, there's a lot of ways you can approach that shit, and I feel like Justin does it well. Like he treats it like a business, but it doesn't it doesn't have a business vibe. He is also an alien. Yeah, the creation of content is not necessarily like, I feel like there's a real strong tendency to immediately associate that with like negative things like pandering or like this cloyingness or over the top personality. That's not, I don't think that that's the case. Like for me, what my aspirations are, it would be to find something that I really enjoy creating that other people really enjoy. That's all it is to me. And I just never like the Minecraft thing was a total accident, and then I never really landed on anything after that. Like I am passionate, obviously, about streaming. I enjoy it, and I've done tons of stuff with my stream. But I would describe it as it's never risen beyond like very minimal hobbyish kind of, I guess. Never felt like a project. And some part of me just really has that sort of desire. It's coming out with the game thing too, isn't it? I have this restlessness, this aimless restlessness, passion project. Yeah, I think that's what I'm always kind of searching for. Is like I have like this sort of undirected energy that I want to unleash into something, and it's felt like for so long that it's just never connected with something that I can really pour it all into. There's always been some other, limitations of like my time or my knowledge or just being like too eager, like I'll throw myself at something that probably wasn't the right thing to be investing my time in. I don't know. I would imagine that I probably have a number of diagnosable things going on, but I'm always a little leery of actually. The only thing I would really say I can confidently say that I definitely experience is depression. Everything else I feel a little bit weird about, self-diagnosing about. But I mean, maybe like in terms of symptoms, I feel like I overlap with a number of things, and ADHD may be one of those things. But I am undiagnosed with anything. I tried to sort of start pursuing getting that figured out, and I took the wrong roads to try to get there, and then didn't ever go back. No, I just don't like to claim anything in particular because it feels like I don't know how to describe it, like stolen valor. It feels wrong to invade such a space with speculation on my part that's unconfirmed. Yeah, I didn't fight in the ADHD wars. I do a lot of that too, punks. In various respects, unfortunately, I definitely avoid. Like, I don't want to know. Not a lot of it's like fucking financial, right? Like, we are just so very slowly clawing our way up out of the pit, and I don't like if I have a health issue, I'd rather just fucking like be gone one day. I don't want to. I don't want to fucking know ahead of time and have like this money sink fucking, because it's like just the futility of life at that point would be too much to take. It would be so dramatically too much to take. Like we exist in a fucking terrible time. of really being like just compressed down, you know. Hallway plant? Oh, you are right. There was a plant there. You know, it's like, yeah, I mean, we are in late stage capitalism. That's all I'm saying. I mean, always it's capitalism. But it's insane how stupidly fucking impossible so much shit is. Is there something on the floor in the hall? We will wrap back around over to that. I'm afraid of stumbling into a kill me man again. Where? This was always here. This is all looking normal to me. This stuff's always been here. Like, housing is off the fucking charts ridiculous, right? And it's funny, I always kind of had the sense, even before I got into adulthood, I just had this weird sense of like, I don't see how I could ever have a house. And that was, you know, that was fairly prescient, I guess. Because that's remains true. It just remains true. Like the amount of money you have to have for a down payment right now is I'm just gonna say it's mind-boggling. It's more than what your parents probably, like the parents of my generation, would have paid for their houses. I don't know. I don't know how anybody's fucking doing it. The bank is just kicking my ass. Window? Hold on. I heard a shenanigan. What's going on in here? What's going on in here? What's happening? I heard something. Alright, I guess you got away with it for now. Oh. Yeah, I do struggle with the... Oh yeah, the window became weird. It's like a mirror. What's happening there? I consume too much content that just continually reminds me of the essentially endless, nonstop fuckery that we all know exists and persists, and that we just can't fix and won't ever fix. We just kind of keep letting it happen. That guy is not the same. He's changed. You really changed, buddy. Yeah. I'm addicted to that kind of content, unfortunately. Like, I would say most commonly now, I listen to shit like Behind the Bastards, which is always like it's sometimes it's funny, but most of the time it's devastatingly awful. Um, but it's a good podcast. It's an interesting podcast, but it's about horribly depressing things. And then wait, the ropes are fucked up. The ropes moved. Another podcast called If Books Could Kill. That one's fucking infuriating. That's just so fucking infuriating. They basically just go through like books that were essentially like New York Times bestsellers and analyze them and pick them apart for being like absolutely fucked up total bullshit, and the horrible effects that they've had in the time since they came out. Like books from the 80s, books from the 90s, early 2000s. And they're like so many of them, they're written by just cynical, worthless fucks who misinterpret research or willfully misinterpret research or studies or statistics or whatever to do whatever, and they sell millions, and they influence the sort of zeitgeist of thought. And it's fucking depressing. So fucking depressing. You can basically sum up a lot of sort of the leftist content space with like, it's all shit we already knew was fucked up and can't seem to do anything about. Head on the cabinets? Oh, the head is back. Good call. Yeah. Yeah, the last week tonight problem. It is very much that. Like, basically, John's here to make you feel bad. He's going to tell you about how all the corporations are still doing the corporation things. Those ingots moved. The thing is I can't tear myself away from it because I know it's still going on. It's not going to stop going on if I stop paying attention to it. So I don't think things change twice. They don't change twice. Pretty sure anything that changes only changes once per round. Coffee jump scare. Like, God, corporations are the absolute fucking worst. Just the fucking worst.
That's what's on your brother-in-law's list.
Ha! Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Surprising.
This isn't the same one I got, but this is one of the ones that we watched videos on. But I'm wondering if it has, ma'am, link up capability.
I don't know. Gotta look into it.
Because theoretically, you could for
Get
them
it.
and a child.
Yeah, get a couple. It's not a bad idea. Adam Conover's a good dude, but like I actually find his content super boring. Oddly enough, I don't think that he's a terribly good interviewer. His ruins everything stuff was all right. Oh, that picture changed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, corporations are a fuck. This is not the right position for this camera. Also, that painting changed. So we're gonna have to. Oh no, it didn't. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Oh no, punks. I'm so sorry. Like, I think one of the most fucking infuriating things that people do, like I'm talking just average people with their dumb fuck opinions, is when people start talking about goddamn motherfucking regulations. Really pisses me the fuck off. And I've left it vague so far, so you could fall on either the right or wrong side of that line. You could probably guess which side of the line I'm on. The last couple of Behind the Bastards episodes have been about something that Union Carbide did back in the 30s, the 1930s. Where they were doing all kinds of illegal shit. Union Carbide, by the way, is the same company that was behind the Bhopal disaster 60 years later. There was this other lesser-known disaster called the Hawks Tunnel disaster. And basically they were doing a bunch of illegal shit in West Virginia. I think it was West Virginia. Part of which involved digging a massive fucking tunnel. And, oh my God, you haven't heard of the Bhopal disaster? Bhopal, India. I think it was a refinery or something. Fucking massive disaster where just a bunch of toxins were released, I think it was. I don't recall if there was an explosion. There might have been an explosion, but 20,000 people fucking died. Yeah, regulations are built on the blood and bones of workers. And any average person who jumps on the fucking anti-regulations bandwagon is just a worthless idiot who knows nothing. Absolutely just has no knowledge in their head of anything. And that's what the fucking Hawks Tunnel thing is all about, because they killed just hundreds of people by sending them into this tunnel that they were digging. And the tunnel they were digging was like basically pure silica. So they were drilling and blasting, and they were not doing anything that would slow them down or cost them money. So they didn't do wet drilling. They didn't provide respirators for the workers, particularly, as you could probably guess, the black workers. And they were sending them in immediately after blasting. So they're just going in and just breathing pure silica, which kills you. It kills you in a few months, maybe even a few weeks. I think it kills you pretty fucking fast, because basically it goes into your lungs and it just kills your fucking lungs, because it's like you're breathing glass. You're breathing these sharp particulates in huge volumes, and that just kills your lungs and you die. And they just kept sending dudes to their deaths. And it was all to make huge amounts of money for the time. Yeah, I've been like so distracted tonight while playing a game where being distracted is a massive disadvantage. I have not done this game service. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bhopal is probably the worst like industrial disaster of all time. The fucking Hawks Tunnel that like basically nobody knows about has a higher death count than Chernobyl, which everybody knows about. Okay. We're at the end of the night. I'm going to pay the fuck attention. I'm going to pay the fuck attention. But I'm still disappointed that we haven't been graced by the illustrious presence of our big boy. What have they done with my big boy? Great point, Griffiths. Great point. Well, I mean, that is the American way, right? We emphasize and massively hyperbolize the failures of outsiders and then minimize and hide our own failures. We got an extra chair already. Tano says, thank you for the biddies. Anyway, the point wasn't just like random disasters. The point was the corruption of corporations and capitalism and being like irritated with like average Joes that are like, regulations are bad for small business. Like, dude, we're being fucking squashed right now. And if you could stop like rooting for them to squash us harder, including yourself, that would fucking be great. You know? That would be really cool. If you could just get on the fucking train here with us. It would be real cool of you. They should be. I think we captured them all as highlights. Yeah, sorry. You have to like keep me away from this stuff because like this is the shit I just listen to all day every day. I'm beyond doom scrolling. I am doom existing. And if you uncork that shit, I just will kind of keep going and going and going and going. I'm doom guy. It is that time. It is that time. But hold on. There's ghosts in this bank. And these ghosts can't wait. Don't worry, I'm on man watch. I'm not going to quick switch if there's a man. Well, you have to cling on to those bright spots, such as it's pretty nice watching the voter fraud cronies starting to fall like dominoes. You serious? Are you serious right now? What? Like, by this point, we should have a pretty good mental list of the various things that typically change. My God. Plant in the conference room? Okay. We'll get there. We're on our way there. The conference room is so far. There's a head in here. Excuse me. I'm dying. Oh yeah, the plant is gone. Yep. Moneyed interests. They will happily kill us. As long as they're making money all the way up to the very final moment. Bury me with my money. I've made everyone mad. I always feel bad when we get into these sorts of evenings where it's like, just remind everybody that everything's bad outside. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. That face is not the right face. That face is out of place. Yeah, nuclear was really made into a boogeyman, unfortunately. Because comparatively, it's like on the whole, it's kind of safe, like similar to how airplanes are safe. You know, like when people talk about the risk of like dying in a plane crash, it's commonly pointed out that you're way more at risk of like dying of like in a car crash statistically, and it's basically it's similar in the nuclear thing. Like it is obviously dangerous, sort of inherently. Just the nature of nuclear materials and properties, but in terms of like practical usage and statistics and so on, it's like extremely safe. Like even with like nuclear waste, that's bad, but it's massively overblown compared to all kinds of other things. Yeah. We're just doing. It ends up being a list. It's just like a really long list, and we just walk through it one by one. And all kind of nod our heads together and frown. Like, yeah, sucks that it's like that. That thing. I hate how that thing's like that. Yeah, me too. Me also. I'm also sad. I think it's cathartic to get it out, though. I think it's what happens, right? It's venting, essentially. It's just venting. Like someone like myself, where I don't really talk to anybody outside of a work capacity all day, every day until I'm on stream. So there's this high risk of me like just launching into shit because it's like all of a sudden I'm in more of like a social shoot the shit type environment. And then outside of all the rest of that time, I basically have it bottled up. Occasionally, like Nakomi and I will get into similar conversations, and it's the same. It's like we both are just like, yeah. You know, like they're not fun conversations, and so but sometimes you just gotta like kind of you gotta open the valve, you gotta let it off sometimes. The computer changed. It is still spinning. Thank you for tracking the fan. In the basement, yeah. I keep looking at it, expecting like the vault door to open or something, but like just nothing with that. I don't know why. These games are generally like pretty good at subverting expectations in that way. There's a lot of stuff that I think is purposely put in that looks conspicuous, that never changes. And you just waste your time looking at it constantly, and it just never ever fucking changes. Or maybe it's just like a really rare event. That plant is on fire. Excuse me. But yeah, like nuclear definitely doesn't do itself any favors with regards to the fact that it is inherently kind of terrifying. The Chernobyl miniseries that HBO did is pretty fucking fascinating. How it gets into, like, particularly when they're in the part of it where they're like, what the fuck do we do? Bottle moved here. Just the there's nothing intuitive there, I think, is what's it's got this, it just always has this inherent existential quality to it. I mean, even like setting aside the weaponry, which is obviously so, right? The way that it's like manipulating the core elements of existence, right? Like a meltdown is a crazy fucking thing. You know, you're dealing with stuff that's on such far edges of like what we can handle physically on the surface of the earth, with respect to physics. You know, like that shit is wild to think about. Which I think is also why people have a fascination with it too, because it has almost a puzzle-like quality, right? Like these things, these parameters, these elements brought together do this or that or whatever. There's like a lot of there's a lot of little parameters and stuff that all go together and have to be considered. And I feel that a little bit myself. That stuff is like kind of fascinating, but also terrifying. Well, keep in mind that that's very much a U.S. perspective on things. Hey, there's a man there. I'm not switching off of this camera. We're destroying this man. The eldritch power of the atom. It feels that way, honestly. Oh no. Oh no, what did I do? What have I done? What have you done? Saying I'm gonna eat the elephant's foot in the same way Luffy says I'm gonna find the One Piece. Ah! That's brilliant. That's brilliant. You made me use this fucking site. I haven't been on here for weeks. If not, it was quite some fucking time. I'm basically off Twitter. Very good tweet. Solid 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Hey, Lindley, thank you for the biddies. God damn it. I don't want to die again, but this one is so goddamn hard, man. Office chair? Oh, this one? I think you might be right, actually. Yeah. Good call. Oh. Yep. Yep. I'm blind, apparently. Damn hall is looking very normal. I hate it. Yeah. This plant in front of us has been here. And the one down the hall has been there too. I think. To the best of my knowledge. No, they were not too near the camera. But yeah, the early days of nuclear power are absolutely horrifying. The stuff that they had to figure out, all those stories are fascinating. Like, I think most people know about like the blue light thing, the guy that was manipulating the demon's core with a screwdriver. Lots of those sorts of things where, like, they make a small mistake and they instantly know that they're dead, even though they're not dead for, like, a bit yet. But they know that they're dead. Like, oh. Horrifying. Horrifying stuff. There was that one disaster, I forget what it was, but, like, there was that shit where they would manually raise and lower by hand the control rods, and there was that one that guy fucked up and the reactor blew, like the cap blew off, and he was like skewered into the ceiling. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I've been the most distracted guy tonight. Oh, yeah. There was a guy that, like, put his head in a particle accelerator. I'm sorry for tonight. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed anyway. As ever, I'll be back tomorrow with the bananas, and I don't know if we have a banana plan. I don't think we do at the moment, but we'll find out. We're gonna play it by ear. Since we're out of October, I will not be holding them to like hostage in Halloween Town any longer. So it's down to whatever everybody wants to do, spooky or not. Yeah. Blake Lee, more like break free. We could try to find something that Good can do from the woods. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all tomorrow.